recent, so I'm going to go back. So when he said that you're going to have one of the most powerful ministries the future's ever seen, I had to think about who has a ministry. You know, a lot of people had a church, but how many people had a ministry, an outreach ministry? And so Joyce Myers was the one that I kind of looked to because she was a woman doing it. She was kind of rejected by her church, and so, you know, she just kind of launched herself out there. So I started doing radio. These are my first tapes. This is the cassette tape. Now, what I did with my cassette tapes, I put a white background on it, a red rose over here, and got on the printer and printed this out. To get the acoustics right for the tape, I taped in my bathroom. So I was in there with the door shut saying, "Praise the Lord, this is Angela Johnson." And so, I mean, I would have to do all these little bitty things. One time my sister came to my house and I had taken the lampshade off because I was taking pictures. Because pictures are another way to help you journal where you're going. She said, "You had the lampshade off, I thought you were shooting a movie." Because, you know, she always, my mother would laugh, and I had brochures. My mother and father would laugh at them when they saw my cards at the house. They would laugh. They would go, "Oh my God, who is this child? Where did she come from?" And I would just keep doing little bitty things. I would keep doing little bitty things that kept adding up to where I was going. So eventually, I had, go there and see if you find my orange bag. So then I got sophisticated and got CDs. I got sophisticated, got CDs, and I got little CD bags. And I had my business card right here. So, you know, everywhere I went in my trunk were these things. And so people was like, "Well, could you come and say something?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." I had my little bag. I always looked like I was ready to go. Even though I wasn't, I always looked like I was ready to go. There was always, I have Ask Miss Angie cards for my parenting thing. I had Rivers in the Desert, which was the name of my original ministry. And people kept sending me stuff like a wilderness store, so I had to change that and branded my own name to Angela. Well, actually, I was Rivers in the Desert. See? I was like, when I was doing workshops, I did the Sisters Network, because I'm always interested in women in business. This is really, really old, you can see. So I have the Sisters Network. I have a brown and a white lady on there, diversity. And that was the name of the ministry. Well, when I got incorporated, that name was already taken. So they had to give me Desert Rivers. That's what they thought was a wilderness store. So I was like, okay, I don't want no more canoes and paddles and all that. I don't really want that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to brand myself. And so I legally bought the rights to my name. I know that sounds completely insane, but you actually have to buy the rights to your name. And so it's Angela Allen-Johnson Ministries or AllenJohnson Group, which is when I incorporated the girls in. So after that, God said, you know, I want you to write. And I was thinking, I didn't know any authors. I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to put it together. But he told me that he wanted me to write. And so I said, well, then I'm ready for this journey. Now, when I wrote my first book, My View of God's Tapestry, which is an inspirational biography, the funny thing is people that knew me 20 years ago, they said, "Is that tapestry book you've been talking about?" I had been talking about that book that long, and I didn't realize it. And I was like, wow, you did 20 years. Now hers took a year, because she gets shortcuts. You know, when you know somebody that does stuff, you get shortcuts, you know. You'll go so much faster than her.
And technology, right?
And she's gone far, but you're going to go so much faster because she's going to be constantly feeding you this information. And this is a shortcut, you know, this is a shortcut. When you try to take shortcuts that aren't proven, it takes longer. So you can't make up a shortcut, but you can listen to her and get all kinds of shortcuts. So by the time your age, your business, your ministry will look very, very different because you started. And I mean, you know, she has her own vision table already. So
shade.
So then God said, I want you to be on TV. Here we go. So this was our very first CD album. I went to, I can't say her name because she's filming this, but I went to a producer's house and we did all of these in one day. So this is like 3 or 4 DVDs in here. Wow. And we did them all in one day. So I have this shirt that has 4 different sides. I know it sounds crazy, but it's this color in the front, another color in the back, and on the inside it's 2 different colors too. I took the shirt and a black jacket and did all of them in one day.
Yeah.
changed the earrings, and then I was doing this thing, and I turned the shirt around and changed the earrings, and then I was doing this thing. We did it all in one day. Wow. This baby was a baby that we know, and we took his shoes and socks off because I wanted baby feet. And you know when you start buying, you know, pictures and stuff, you have to own stuff. We took his little baby feet and took the telephone and took a picture of his little feet. And voila. Somebody asked me recently, do you know something about being a spiritual midwife? I was like, funny, you should ask. So we did that in one day. Oh my God, God has done. We did this for women finding their voice. Always important to have a professional photograph, whatever you're doing. And it should look like you look now, not how you looked in high school. You know how you see somebody's picture, it's like, is that you? You know, it's like, have you been sick? You know, the picture don't look like the person you're talking to. So always, this picture on front are pictures that I started to take. I started to feel like, this is never gonna happen. Raising these kids by myself and working 40-hour week, man. So I went in my office and started taking pictures of my hands in front of the Bible, in front of flowers, in front of a globe. I just started taking pictures. Would you go get my staples? Go get that staples thing. As you see, the vision is the same. From when I took that picture of myself, I took pictures of my hands, you know, in this way. I mean, just all kind of, I was like, I'm going to need this someday. Right there, that blue staples thing. I'm going to need this someday. And then when I did Finding Your Voice, Genesis 1:28 through 28, 26 through 28, when God gave them dominion. When Adam was created, Eve was created within Adam, and he gave them dominion. And a lot of women didn't understand that they already had that dominion because God didn't want the man feeling like a woman on the outside or a woman feeling like a man on the inside. So he separated the two, were both of his expressions. And then he gave them dominion. These are some more. And it's funny, I took them and I put them in frames and I put them in my house. Here's another one. There when we travel, I put these in frames to decorate my table. And I took them
20 years ago.
That was a ring my ex-husband gave me, so that was a long time ago. That was a while ago. And look at my glasses. My glasses aren't even the same. My poor raggedy Bible. But I knew that we were going somewhere. I knew that eventually I would need stuff. Still keeping my vision alive, still stoking it, still believing God was going to do something special with me. And then we've done a myriad of workshops where I order material that I keep around, that I keep looking at, saying, you know, this is what God has made me.
No.
Did cup. So on TV the first time, I had the cup sitting out in front of the thing. And I was like, okay, you're doing too much. And so now I do a snippet on the radio 2 times in the morning. It's called Coffee Talk. And you'll see this picture in my hand because this is the cup that I use like, you can never brand yourself enough, okay? And it has Desert Rivers Inc. on the back of it. Bringing rivers of understanding to dry places. That was my call and my mission. And of course I was about 25 pounds heavier on here, but still brand new. So when people come to our table to buy things, I want, you know, everybody has church candy. Everybody buys church candy. So I found these at Home Depot somewhere. And so I put my name on them. And then I put my information on the back. So if it's just a gift, I was like, here you go, you first lady. Well, here you go. And they're like, oh, this is so nice. Oh, wow. Bible teacher, conference speaker. Oh, okay.
This keeps on giving.
Yeah, I keep it going. So then God spoke to me about doing my second book, which is When Your Destiny and Legacy Kids Purpose is Born. My daughter was going into the Army at that point. My mother was declining with Alzheimer's, and I saw 2 generations very separate. And I wanted to find a way to bridge that somehow. I wanted her to get some of my mother, and I wanted my mother to be present in their lives because I know she was slipping away every day. And so God spoke to me and he said, and then I had grandchildren. So 3 really major things was happening. My grandson was born. She was going to the army. My mother was dying. And so this book kind of talks about the importance and the weight of that generation and pulled it into this generation. So it's a 365-day devotional, and it's just like 5 minutes. You open it up real quick, read it, then you go on through your day, and all day long you're thinking about that 5 minute. Lord, He has plans for me. Who has plans for me? Your boss getting on your nerves. Oh, He's got plans for me. You know, your children ain't acting. Oh, He's got plans for me. And you think about that little snippet all day long. And so that's where that came from. And then we finally get to my vision board, which is, you know, a little bit of a disarray in where it's been. So when I thought of my vision, I said, let me go crazy. Let me be as crazy as I can think of. Let me stretch it as far as I can. And He's still able to do more than this. And I thought I was stretching it. So on my vision board, here's some of the things that are going to be important to me. Oprah has life classes. She has this big audience, and they teach, so I'm going to be on there. And I'm going to be on there. And Tyler Perry, he was on here somewhere. Oh, there he is. So there's just some movies I just think he needs to do about women in ministry and stuff. So I want to be a consult on those movies. You know, somebody that comes in and gets paid for not being on the movie, but consulting on the movie. And then Bishop Jakes has something called Girl Talk, where, you know, they have that audience of women that need to listen to instructions, so he's trying to find me. Barack Obama, that's just relationship goals, period. I mean, what can I say about that? You know, look what his wife did. My God, you got to have somebody that can step up with you. So just looking for anything that's not going to work. I need somebody that's a good fit. You know, I was like, I need a rock, girl. Dude, I mean, I need my equal. I'm looking for my equal. I'm looking for somebody that's got my flow. You know, I'm not looking for somebody who.
I see you
You know,
got
I know
Barack
people that are
and
afraid.
The Rock.
And who?
Barack and
The Rock.
Now, just because he's smart don't mean he don't have to look good.
Come through.
You said you